Good morning, Aquarius. This is Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot. I am in Carmel, Indiana. I am a Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, Sagittarius Moon. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. What I normally do is let flip, fly, or fall anywhere from 5 to 7 tarot cards. Take a look at that. Are we looking at life, love, career, or health? And then clarify with various oracle decks. So let's see what's going on with Aquarius for the second half of June. The 1st of June video had some sort of a, I don't know, maybe a fight between lovers that happened. So, or friends, it could have been friends. And let's see if we're continuing that same group of people or if we're bringing in somebody new. What's going on? So what's going on with Aquarius? Feel like I want that one. Well, at the moment, it feels like very stubborn energy because sometimes I can get cards just flying out, and today it doesn't feel like there's much wanting to come out. So that makes me think, just based on what's happening, is you guys have not kissed and made up. So we'll see. Okay, there's one, and I feel like I want that one, but I feel like I want it there and there. So let's see what we got so far. The Empress, okay. And the Four of Pentacles. And the High Priestess. So, well, I guess that's not so bad. That would be a feminine energy, very much in her power. Other than being a little stingy with her money right at the moment, seeing something from a higher perspective. Knight of Cups makes me feel, okay, so at the moment, what it feels like is somebody asked to borrow money from you. You have done this in the past, and you are just very unemotional about it because in the past, they were able to sucker you. They were able to play the victim card, you enabled them, and this time around you are looking at it from a more spiritual note and thinking, you know what, they need to learn their lesson and I'm not going to help them out this time. That is the feeling that I am getting. Let me keep going and get a couple more here. So somebody asked to borrow money and you told them no. That perhaps could have been the kiss and makeup story is, you know, maybe they got mad at you because you finally put some boundaries down and said, you know what, I'm not helping you out. You need to fend for yourself this time. You need to figure this out on your own. I'm not going to enable you anymore. And the fact that I'm having such a hard time getting cards out makes me think that you are very much standing your ground. Very much standing your ground. 5 of Pentacles. That always makes me think like you left somebody out in the cold. You're not feeling left out in the cold. And you don't think you left the other person out in the cold. You're doing this for a very good reason, and you're not feeling guilty about it whatsoever. So it's like, and I feel like they were like going, I can't believe you're going to leave me out in the cold. And you're like, I'm not leaving you out in the cold. I'm teaching you how to fend for yourself. And I have been not helping you do that in the past. So let me get let's one more card if I can get one out. So that fits right along in with that story. I feel like I want that one. 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's like you're just like very unemotional about it. And I feel like the other person has like cried and tried to make you feel guilty and tried every tactic they could, just like they always did in the past. They've tried every tactic they could to get you to do things their way. And you're like, nope, I'm not doing it this time. You have not learned your lesson. I'm not helping you out anymore. You have burnt your bridge with me when it comes to this. it could have been money. It could have been them staying with you for a short period of time because they needed a place to live. Whatever it is, the Four of Pentacles is like you're hanging on tight to your money, but it could be you could be hanging on tight to your space, hanging on tight to a car they borrowed all the time, space in your home, whatever the case is that, I think I said that already. So let's see what kind of emotions you are working with right at the moment. I feel like you're feeling pretty good right at the moment. Even though they might be kind of mad at you because you're like, I'm proud of myself. This is the feeling I'm getting, powerless. I feel like you're doing, let me think about that. If that's your emotion, okay, so it's kind of like you feel powerless to help them. But you know that what you've been doing wasn't helping them. Maybe it's somebody that has a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction or something like that. And you feel powerless to help this person, but you know what you have done in the past to help them hasn't done any good. So it's kind of like, I feel like you've kind of left it up to spirit to kind of take over the reins and said, you know what, I'm pulling myself out of this equation because what I have done in the past has not been beneficial. So let's see what else you have got for emotions. And discouraged. Well, I think that's probably just discouraged because they're mad at you, and you're discouraged because maybe they have said, I'm never talking to you again. Whatever the case is, it's like it does not appear that you guys have kissed and made up in whatever this relationship was. And I think you're feeling kind of sad about it. So let's just continue with the things, with the emotions here and see what else is going on. Inadequate in the reverse position. So it's like, I feel like there was some name calling that was going on maybe during this tiff. And maybe, okay, excited. I feel like the excited part is you are excited that you stuck to your boundaries, because I feel like in the past, you always caved. They always twisted your arm. You always said, okay, I'll help you out. And this time, and it always made you feel bad about yourself because you knew you weren't doing the right thing. But this time you did the right thing. You stood your ground and you're excited about that. Longing came up. Yearning, wistful, homesick. Now this could be, I suppose this could be if you're the person that got said no to, you're longing to go back home. Just take that however that resonates. Depressed, feeling depressed at the moment, and not very peaceful. So this could go either way, because some of this, take this how it resonates. You are either the person that said, no, I'm not going to help you out anymore, or you're on the other end of it. So it could be kind of flip-flop there. The top row indicates that you are the one in power, and the emotions kind of feel like, I don't know. Take that how it resonates. Let's see. What lessons were learned or will be learned? What lessons are to be learned from this experience that is in the process of happening, that happened, that caused it, whatever? What lessons are being learned on either party? Oh, shadow work. So you're both probably having to work on some shadow works. Why you were maybe a people pleaser in the past, and why you always said yes to people because you were a people pleaser. And maybe for them, if the person that you said no to was an addict or something like that in some way, shape, or form. They've got to work on their stuff to get rid of that. What else? What other lessons are coming out to be learned during this situation? That one. Woo! Okay. Pause. Okay, that is, to me, that is like you're taking a pause not to rush in to help somebody like you usually do. So it's a sticking to your boundaries type thing and divine timing. So, you know, anytime there's a lesson involved, it usually has to do with some divine timing. The answer is yes. So everything that you're thinking right at the moment is, I did it for this, I did it for this reason, I did it for this reason, and this is blah, 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 blah. So yes, everything that you are thinking right now is yes. What else? What other lessons? And I also feel like you're like, I'm going to teach them a lesson. But at the same time, you're also learning a lesson. So there's a whole lot of lessons flying around during this altercation, this pause in the relationship, whatever you want to call it. What else is going on here? I want that one. Offer. I think maybe, okay, so maybe you made them an offer and they refused it. Maybe you offered to put them in a rehab facility or something and they refused it, and that was when you were like, you know what, they're really not about learning anything from this situation, they're not ready to change. Well, that does make sense. If that's something that you offered, I'm like going, I'm not going to let you move into my house, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, but I will offer to take you to the recovery facility or something like that, or I will take you someplace to get you help. And they were like, probably turned you down, and that's when you were like, that's why I know you're not ready to be, you're not in a place where you're ready to change. Let me get one more. Metamorphosis. I feel like, well, I definitely feel like you Aquarians are going through a metamorphosis of learning how to hold your boundaries, of how to say no when in the past you have said yes. So I feel like maybe you were very much a people pleaser in the past, and now you're realizing that you being a people pleaser was not benefiting you or the other people whatsoever. So you have kind of put a stop to the enabling of anything. So let me look at my next deck of cards and see what I got all kinds of stuff out here, and the ones that I want are way back in the back, so I'm not going to grab those. You know what? I'm going to do these. I want to do last words of advice from the universe about this situation to just remind you that you've done the right thing. Obviously, that one went celebration. To remind you that you've done the right thing. We're going to celebrate that you did the right thing. So what else does the universe want to say about how you have handled this situation? There's two. It's helping you put some balance into your life. It is also helping you transmutation, probably transmute some negative energy out of your life. And it's also teaching you how to forgive, because I feel like you are probably having to forgive the other person, but you are probably also having to forgive yourself for maybe enabling this person in the past. And now you're like, I didn't know any better at the time, but I know better now, and I'm not going to do that anymore. And forgive them for being the way they are, because I feel like maybe you were mad at them for a long time for being weak or whatever the case was. I want one more card from the universe about this. Okay, they want me to have two. creativity and retreat. So I feel like this is saying that it's going to, it's kind of like you have removed this situation from your mind, because it has been something that's been quite stressful for you, and it has blocked your creativity. And you're like, I'm going to start working on myself. I'm going to go do a retreat. I'm going to quit worrying about everybody else in the world. I'm going to start taking care of myself. So this was a self-care act. This, whatever you did, was in order for you to take better care of yourself. And like I said, I feel like maybe you were a people pleaser in the past, and it's now you're like, I'm not going to be that way anymore because it has not benefited me or the other people. I feel like that is kind of it at the moment. Good job. Good job, guys. I'll see you guys in July. Bye.